Hello, I'm Callum Dilietto, and this is the Flock Together podcast in partnership with Destination St John's. We're here today at the Shangri-La, the Shard, London, and I'm joined by Cassidy.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being part of the flock. I've known you for years. I don't even remember how we first met, but it's just one of those things where we just see each other randomly.
Yeah, it's been a journey for sure the last 5 years.
Yeah.
As Chorus, yeah.
And Chorus is based in West London. You're basically my neighbour.
Yes, yeah, we're Hammersmith now. So we moved to Riverside Studios a couple of years ago, and we were in leafy Parsons Green before that. But yeah, it's been an absolute ride, and you know we love our home in West London at Riverside Studios, creative hub. Around creative people, so it's a great place to be. It was very cool. I remember coming to your offices and being like, this is cool. And you know, I've even been fortunate enough to see some of the activations you've done. Yes.
I remember it was for a whiskey brand.
Yes.
Very immersive. I'm not a whiskey drinker, but I was so into it, and I remember trying this really expensive whiskey, and I felt like it was wasted on me, but at the same time I was like, but this is so cool because everything around what I was drinking was so immersive as well. So.
Yeah, well, that's what we want. New drinkers and existing drinkers to be immersed in the different worlds and able to understand whiskey in a different light, because it's not just, you know, an old man in an armchair's drink anymore.
The first part of the podcast is remember. So I'd like to challenge you to remember the first ever work trip that you went on.
Oh, it was a long time ago now, but it was to the Birmingham Hilton Metropole.
You're not the first person to say
Really?
this.
That's interesting. Well, I was actually recruited as a runner right at the beginning of my career. So I was going up to help the agency that I then ended up getting a full-time job with on site at the Hilton Metropole. And I grabbed the opportunity with both hands. I didn't know what on earth I was getting myself in for, but I enjoyed every minute. I remember going to Covent Garden Market because the agency was based on the Strand, and I didn't have a suitcase to put my stuff in to travel there. So I went to Covent Garden Market and bought this little suitcase for £10, which I still have. It still goes.
Do you still have it? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
And such fond memories of going to buy that suitcase. Big moment for me. And got the train up to Birmingham and was there for probably 5 days, helping them run between the breakout rooms. And I'd never experienced anything like it. It was an incredible week, and that was my first into the industry. And I remember Blitz at the time were doing all the production, and I got to go backstage and see all the equipment and meet all the crew, and I just absorbed it all. I was like, I didn't even know this industry existed. And then I was there in, you know, this huge plenary room, seeing how all the lighting, staging, cameras, sound were working together, and it was just awe-inspiring. Loved it.
It's so interesting because, you know, I speak to people quite often about how they got into the industry and what it was, and, you know, I think there is this real moment where suddenly you just fall head over heels for the job and the experience in the industry. And if you said to someone else, oh, like, you know, I went to a conference in Birmingham and, you know, it was really fun, other people would be like, what? What do you mean? Why would you?
Yeah.
Why on earth would you be like, oh, that's great, this is what I want to do? But I think if you're the right person, it is that kind of
it
spark.
Just clicked. Yeah.
And suddenly it's just like, oh my God, this is what I need.
Totally. And obviously my dad used to work and go to these conferences, and I think I just assumed they happened by magic. You know, because it's so seamless, you just don't see all that goes into making these events. And going and seeing it from the other angle, like not being a guest or a delegate, but being behind the scenes I was just like, this is where I want to be.
And what was your last work trip?
My last work trip was to Athens.
Nice.
We were activating at the bar show there for another whiskey brand. And I'm going as the managing director now rather than the runner. But I was there to meet the clients and support the team and make sure it all went off off with a bang, and it was awesome. I love going on those trips. You know, the culture within bartending is an incredible place to be. It's such a fun week. Get to see lots of old friends across the industry. You know, the bartending industry is very similar to the events industry. It's very small. You see the same people on the circuit, see how they're doing in their careers. And yeah, it was a good one.
I was having a drink recently with a friend, and we got to talking to the man behind the bar, and he was going through courses and certifications and this and that. And
Yeah.
it's such a difference between, you know, I used to work on the bar as a part-time job,
Yeah.
and it was just a means to an end, but there's a passion
Oh, yeah.
that certain, like, you know, career barmen have, and it's so infectious, because as they're talking about the drink and the cocktail they make of you, you're like, it's an art, it's a culinary skill.
Yeah, totally. That, you know, modern hospitality professionals, as they're called, you know, they are career bartenders, like you say. It's almost like how we see MasterChef on the TV, you know, with chefs that are incredibly good at what they do and passionate about flavour and culture. It's the same in cocktails, just different ingredients and in a different expression of that. And, you know, the community they build, the lifestyle they lead, the people they meet, you know, incredible stories and some of the best nights ever.
The next part of the podcast is revisit. So if you could go back in time and relive a destination experience, what would it be?
A destination experience for me is probably San Sebastian.
Nice.
I'm a big foodie, and we went there on honeymoon. I then went back for my 30th birthday, and obviously it has more Michelin star restaurants per capita than anywhere in the world, and was lucky enough to visit 3 Michelin star restaurants there, as well as the famous Pinchos bars of San Sebastian, and just that La Concha beach, the location of the city, the vibe, the culture that they've built there around eating and drinking. I could stay there forever. And we recently went back again in September last year for our anniversary, me and my husband, and we just love it there.
Yeah.
It's the flavours, the melting pot of different things you can eat. I like to eat lots of little things rather than have big plates. You get to try so much more. The weather was stunning, that helps. And yeah, had a great time.
I love the idea that you've chosen a honeymoon destination and it's worked out so much that you would want to relive it and you want to go back. And, you know, I've not been on a honeymoon yet, but my thoughts are, imagine you choose the wrong destination or you do it and you're like, okay, it's a good once off. But I think if you've truly nailed it, it's somewhere that you do want to go back on anniversaries.
And actually, a lot of people do go further afield on their honeymoon because it's a big chance to get away to somewhere really, really special. But then that feels slightly unattainable going back because it is, you know, that trip of a lifetime. But when we were deciding, we actually flew to Madrid and then travelled up through Rioja and stayed at some of the vineyards and winemaking places around there, and then went up to San Sebastian and did that northern coast. And lucky enough to have gone back multiple times, as you say, because it is just popping across to Spain.
And if you could make any hotel a home, what would it be?
Oh, my favourite hotel is the Watergate Bay Hotel in Cornwall.
Oh, wow.
It is stunning. The hotel there is so relaxed but so beautifully done. It's great for dogs, and great for kids and great for adults. So the food and drink is fantastic. The beach is a doggy beach all year round. Stunning walks along that beach and that coastline. You can go to Padstow and Rock for the day. You can go down to the Eden Project. There's so much to do down there. I love going down there. It's a long way to drive, but we've been a few times, and every time, without fail, we love that hotel. The pool's gorgeous, infinity pool, sauna, hot tub outside, overlooking the sea. Yeah, so that's my fave.
Cornwall was my first ever holiday as a kid.
It's a stunning place.
Yeah, I think I was like 9 or something, and just went down there. And it's weird because I feel like I was maybe I was 8, but I feel like I was too young to remember. But I remember it quite vividly because it was so beautiful, so picturesque. The beaches down there, like England, kind of doesn't get an appreciation for some of the beaches that it has, and Cornwall is quite clearly the front runner for that.
Yeah, we went actually during COVID when there was that break in the tiering of what was shut down and what we were able to do, and Cornwall was on a different tier to London. And we went down to St Ives and Carbis Bay, and wow, the weather was stunning. And there was nobody there because it was COVID, and we just had the most amazing time. Yeah.
I think what makes Canada different from other incentive destinations is simply how vast and diverse Canada is. I love the accessibility, cultural diversity, and the ability to create a truly authentic experience. If people want a city vibe, Canada can provide that. If you have adventurers, there is absolutely something here.
My most memorable moment was definitely the kayaking experience. The elements and the conditions were something that I have never experienced anywhere in the world. It was magnificent.
We had this amazing immersive cultural experience. We were looking for mushrooms and for herbs and talking about sustainability. We were listening to music, hearing stories of fishing. It was undescribable how awesome that was.
So the next part of the podcast is Reimagine, and I'd like to challenge you to plan an incentive trip for yourself. So where would you go, what would you do, and which celebrity would you bring with
I've totally got this. So
I love that. Totally got this.
my incentive trip would be taking probably maybe 5 to 10 of the world's 50 best restaurants around the world, so from the list, and going to each of them, designing a trip around going to each of them. So 1 meal a day, it's going to be big, right? So you don't need to eat all the time. And putting together an itinerary that got you to those restaurants from the top 50. So being able to, do that week or that 10 days and go to each of them and discover the culture in that place for a short period of time, but eat in the best restaurant in that city.
Yeah, that's a good way to... I feel like often people pick the destination, pick the location, the hotel, whatever, and then find good food around it. But you've flipped
Straight
it.
for the food.
You said, right, I'm a foodie. I'm going to the best food in the world, and then we'll plan around that.
Yeah, which are also probably paired with some of the best bars in the world too.
Yes. And who would your celebrity be?
Oh, my celebrity would probably have to be Anthony Bourdain.
Makes sense.
I mean, I love his books. I love his TV shows, and he'd probably be able to give me some insight into the food and culture too.
And I think he'd be quite fun.
I think he'd be very fun.
Yeah. The penultimate part of the podcast is reform. So this is an opportunity for you to write a letter to the industry. What would your letter be?
I think it comes back to that very first experience I had, which was take the opportunities, grab them with both hands. Don't say no because you're scared or out of your comfort zone. If you want to be in this industry or try out this industry, then don't put yourself in a box too early. Learn on the job. It's a big part of how you get far in the industry and meet all the people that make this industry so special. We're a people industry after all, and you'll need to call in those favours. And you'll need to meet all the different people of the different disciplines that bring this amazing industry together. So that would be my huge piece of advice in that letter, would just be grab every opportunity with both hands and try not to say no.
Yeah, be a yes person,
Be a yes person.
And there are so many great opportunities, and
Yeah.
sometimes they're disguised. You could be like, here's an opportunity, and then you grab it.
Yeah. And it leads on to... The career journey is, I didn't plan this career journey. I just fell into it and followed and grabbed and asked questions and met people and put myself out there, and a lot of the time going, oh, this is imposter syndrome times 100, but you got to go and do it, and then you've got that experience and you pull that out of your pocket next time and, you know, see where it leads you.
The final part of the podcast is a quick fire round of questions. So, packing, last minute or week before?
Oh, week before. Yeah.
Super organised.
Oh yeah, I'm like 3 holidays ahead here. Yeah,
That's impressive.
My husband, it drives him mad. He's like, we're not even gone on this holiday. Why are you thinking about one, you know, in a year's time?
Also, then you can't access the stuff that's in your suitcase.
That's right.
Like, yes, no, I know.
But also in the industry we're in, if I don't plan those holidays, I wouldn't go on them.
True.
There would always be work in the way.
Carry-on or check-in?
I'm a big carry-on person. I can get a lot in my little rucksack. Everyone always says to me, is that all you're bringing?
I get that all the time. I can't wheel my tiny little suitcase along and everyone else has got like massive bags.
No.
Efficiency.
Exactly.
Airport lounge or shopping?
Lounge. Yeah.
Aisle or window?
I think window. I'm not much of a getter-upper on the plane. I'm happy to sit there quietly and read my book or listen to my podcast and just while away the hours. I love the moment, that feeling of being on my own with a busy family life and a busy job. Just having 8, 10, 12 hours on a flight is like bliss to me.
Honestly, the idea of connecting to Wi-Fi on a plane is a no for
No,
me.
oh no.
I'm like, disconnect me.
Yes.
I do not want to be connected. I don't want any notifications. I just want food, sleep,
Yes,
and movies.
That's right,
Yeah.
yeah. Or I have done it where I've downloaded some stuff I really need to work on but not turned on the Wi-Fi. Do the work and then, ta-da, it's done when you get there.
Yeah. City or nature?
Nature. Got to be.
Lay-in or early start?
I'm an early riser. Yeah, get out there, get it done.
Poolside or seaside?
Definitely seaside. Every time there's an opportunity to have a room on the beach or with a view of the sea, I would do it over a pool any day.
Cornwall?
Yeah. Oh, that view from Watergate Bay. Stunning.
Planned or spontaneous?
Oh, I love a plan, but then I love changing it, which winds all my family and friends up, especially in the job that I do, where they're like, do you do this with your clients? I'm like, of course not.
No, but this is the luxury I have with you.
Exactly. I love being able to say, oh, you know, let's stay for another drink, or let's cancel that reservation and do this instead. You know, it does wind my family and friends up, though, a lot.
But I think for me, I pick my travel partners quite carefully so that is allowed.
Yeah.
Because I think you don't know. I remember traveling to Thailand for a month and we only booked 2 nights and the rest was spontaneous. And it's because one minute you're like, actually, I'm really liking it here.
Yes,
let's do another day
let's just
here.
stay.
Yeah, or actually, this is terrible. Let's leave here early.
Yes,
you know?
yeah, and we holiday with our families a lot, like my in-laws and my parents, and you know they're getting older now, so they like a plan, and they don't like it when I'm saying, oh, can we push the reservation back by an hour, or oh, we're having fun here, should we just not go to the next thing we were planning? And they're like, oh, Cassidy.
Yeah, no, exactly. Breakfast, hot or cold?
Hot. Hash browns are a must.
Very specifically, it's got to be hot and there's got to be hash browns. And finally, hotel, room service or restaurant?
Definitely restaurant, the people watching. I don't really like eating alone. Like I'll always love to eat with somebody, but if I have to eat alone, I will just be staring at everybody else and what they're doing.
Love that. Well, thank you so much for being part of the podcast and joining the Flock community.
Thank you, Callum.